What's up, Dace Tagular Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Dace Man Show. I am your host, Chris, the Dace Man Dace, and joining me as always. Why are we not on the thing?
I was just gonna say, do we actually have audio?
This is stupid. I don't know why.
Do we have audio?
We had audio, but we didn't have fucking visual. Welcome to the Dace Man Show. I'm your host, Chris, the Dace Man Dace. Joining me as always, Gibby.
Yay!
And before we get started, I'd like to take this moment. The Fat Bet is on.
Woohoo!
The NWO title has arrived.
I got beat in. Thanks for the sub.
Oh, yeah, look at this. It's the notifications working.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw it in the chat.
But the title is here. It'll be handed over to Frank for the month of November, whenever the hell Frank gets back from being on the road.
Did you spray paint that, or is that just how it came?
Came like that.
Oh, that was okay.
Came like that.
Looks like shit, but, you know,
No.
wrestling is.
The World Heavyweight title. It's fucking heavy. Feel it.
Ah!
As he breaks
I
it.
haven't been to the gym in a while.
I think it's got some weight on it.
Upside down, maybe if I hold it right. World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion. And isn't NWO not exist anymore?
It does not. But we are the new NWO, and that's why we have an NWO championship.
Is it like an actual replica?
Yes. So the winner of every month gets to hold this for a month.
Woo!
First month, Frank will hold it ceremoniously because he got a tapeworm and lost the most weight in the group.
Needed.
To the point where he needs to start gaining weight.
Yeah, kinda.
But this title will be coming home to Daddy December 1st.
That's right.
After he kicks everybody's asses, both in the chat and those who whined and left the chat. Boom!
Thank you.
Yeah, well, then you're still in the chat. So your ass is going to
No,
get kicked too.
they keep beating me, keep kicking me out.
And I made an Excel sheet that's fancy.
Fancy.
So boom! Oh, the trash talking's already begun in the chat. But it's not leaving Jersey. It's only briefly leaving the basement. And this bad boy will be a reigning, defending champion for multiple months until I decide I don't want it anymore.
Nah.
Boom! Or I plateau.
Plateau!
Which is more likely to happen. So the NWO Championship is here.
That's right.
The Fat Bet started Sunday.
No, it didn't.
It did.
Nah.
For me. I've been walking the basement like an idiot all day to try to catch up to Lisa's fucking steps.
That's sort of unfair, but yeah.
She works a double.
I know, and then yeah.
I'm getting my ass.
Like
handed to me.
Cheever probably has it pretty made too if he checks his steps because
It
again, he works retail. She's like a nurse or whatever. So I mean, they're on their feet all the time. So
yeah. So
I would never be able to compete with that.
Every hour, I had to get up for 15 minutes, walk a circle, and sit back down. Every meeting I took, I walked.
I was just gonna say that's probably the best way of doing it if you can somehow get like a headset. My problem is all mine are video.
Just walk with your phone, like ah.
Yo!
I'm in a fat bet. I need the goddamn belt.
Yeah.
And then you wear the belt on every meeting the next month. I'm like, this is what it meant. This is what I got.
Yeah. Just have it in the background.
And just like rub it. Feels so good.
I like it.
She's coming back home after Frank gets his. I know you don't get wrestling references, but Pat Patterson was the was the first IC champ.
He was gonna do a figure four. I mean.
You know a move.
That's right.
I'm impressed. But they said that Pat Patterson won it in some fucking Spanish country. It was like, oh, he's the first Intercontinental Champion. They gave it to Pat because they felt bad for Pat. And that's what we're doing for Frank. But tonight's a big night. Aside from the Fat Bet, we're also watching the election behind the way.
Oh, all right. They have Texas is blue.
Didn't the polls just close?
I don't know, man. Apparently Georgia's blue, too. What the fuck?
As is Ohio and PA. I'm looking at it correctly.
That has to be. There's no way that can be right.
Early return.
There's no fucking way that can be right.
But the NWO Championship. Boom.
Boo!
Will be coming home December 1st, and you will see it every December Tuesday podcast episode. And I will remind you who's the champ.
That's right.
I'm bragging now because I am in the lead. Granted, Cheever's the only one who's logged.
That's right.
But he's still behind. Although the fat ass won't log his Sunday because he went over calories because he thought we weren't starting. But the agreed upon start date was November 1st. Log your calories, fat ass. Take the negative points.
Damn! Why is my Twitch not working?
I have no clue. Anyway, we got a packed show for you tonight. It's election night here in fucking the United States. If you're a Canadian watcher, or
There we go.
Scottish, maybe.
Woohoo! I like it.
Maybe we work that demographic.
Hey, man. Bonjour.
That's not Scottish. That's French.
I don't know.
That's French. But we got some things to talk about. One thing we can't talk about because somebody didn't watch it yet is that The Mandalorian dropped episode 1 of season 2. And yes, oh my god, that was an amazing moment that I cannot share because someone has not watched it yet. You're killing me. You're killing me. It was 40 minutes of greatness.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. You have no idea.
No.
I knocked Jess over because I was so excited about the goddamn thing.
Yay.
See, even Aaron thinks it's a great episode that you did not see.
I'll try. Hopefully I'll be able to watch this one on Friday.
What drives me nuts is he ruined Tremors for an entire group, and I'm still being civilized and not ruining The Mandalorian.
All right.
Although
I said
feel
something in the chat, waited at least a good week. No one said anything about it. And then I told Eric to watch it on PlayStation,
The Netflix. Voo?
the game. Apex. And he's like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll watch that, because I don't think he does anything, and he just watches movies for work. I don't know.
He's in the fat bet. He thinks he's going to get that belt.
Not
a chance.
So he started watching.
See, Jarrett wants me to ruin it for you. He wants me to ruin it for you.
Wow. But yeah, I told him, and then he did. I don't think he's ever watched.
I'm going to ruin it.
I don't think he's ever watched
I'm going to ruin it.
It's great.
I'm going to ruin it.
It's Star Wars.
Boba Fett returns, baby!
Oh, I did hear that.
Oh, God damn it. It's not fun when you already know it. Well, obviously, you knew the casting, so you knew he was going to return at some point. He's the last cameo. And apparently, there's a character in this episode, too, that comes from one of the books that you don't like to read. That anthology of Aftermath.
He's in this one?
They brought that character in. I forget what the hell his name was.
From what I heard, there are going to be a lot of little
characters.
Easter eggs. A lot of Easter eggs in this
and they're on
upcoming
Tatooine.
season. Oh.
So the first episode takes place on Tatooine.
There we go.
But yeah, it's an amazing episode. The last 5 minutes, not even last 5 minutes, like the last 30 seconds.
How long was the episode?
For about 40 minutes, I think.
So it's still pretty short.
They're probably going to get shorter after that, because they did that to us last time. Remember, the first one was like, oh, here's 40 minutes, and then it's like...
No, I think the first one was almost 50-something.
Yeah, and then episode 2 was like 25.
Yeah, and then they were like, they were fucking...
And it's like, what the fuck? So, it's interesting. Doesn't really delve into any questions you had in the first season.
Mm-hmm.
It completely sets up more fucking questions. Apparently, they're still calling Texas for Biden.
Oh, and the only one district was Dallas. Like, what the fuck is... How fucking dumb can you be? I'm sorry.
Well, that'll be happening a lot tonight, because we do have the election on the background, because it will essentially determine if the streets run red with blood or run red with blue fire.
I can't even fucking believe they're calling it, though. That doesn't even make fucking sense.
They gotta make some kind of interesting TV. We can sit here and do it. Like, oh, right now, you heard it here first. California's going to Joe Biden. Polls haven't closed, but I'm going to call it. I'm calling it right now. I called it before Fox News.
I still don't understand why
CNN.
Jersey isn't blue yet. Like, come on, let's be realistic here. CNN, yeah.
What they're doing is they're pretty much just taking the real-time votes in, because, like, if you watched Florida in that first hour, it kept flipping back and forth. They'll be and even Georgia was, as they were talking about Florida, Georgia kept flipping back and forth between blue and red.
Yeah.
They're essentially, whatever votes come in first, that's what they're going to give it to.
Yeah, and they just populate it, and it's just, it's...
He's saying Illinois is going to be blue?
Illinois blue. I can see that.
On his?
Indy?
In Illinois, not Indy. Indiana was already awarded.
Indy, I was going to say, Indy was already awarded. No, Illinois probably will go blue.
Just because of Chicago?
Yeah.
But what about all the other 90 fucking rural...
I don't think there's enough people outside Chicago.
So did Illinois go for him last time?
No. I don't think so.
I don't remember, to be honest. I don't pay attention to it. I kind of give up on these type of things because New Jersey just gets assumed blue, too. Which is bullshit. But we're going to be giving up... Like, right now they have Ohio. He's leading. Biden's leading.
Well, that's just in that one territory. But right now, Ohio's another one that keeps going back and forth, so...
I I think we could.
Typical battleground stage. Good shit. But, yeah, we'll see how it goes, what happens.
We're going to keep talking about it as we go through the night. That's part of our topic. We have other topics for you. Since we can't delve into Mandalorian, which I assume we'll do much more next week.
Did you, so Star Wars, let's stick with Star Wars for a while.
Yes, so Star Wars, apparently John Boyega had a conversation with Disney. You might have another story. But Star Wars, John Boyega had a conversation with Disney to kind of hash out the whole, hey, you didn't have my back when everybody got pissed off there was a black stormtrooper.
That's right.
And says that the tensions aren't as high as they were when he initially talked, but doesn't plan on reoccurring the Finn role as of right now because he prefers to act different roles. That's why he's an actor.
That's right.
The only flip side of that is if he had taken, he said, oh, well, I might reprise it down the line, really feels like all that would have been fishing for a fucking Disney Plus series.
Correct. 100%.
I feel like he is.
Could be. I mean,
but not right now. Just down the line.
I think he's sort of doing that to position himself to get into the MCU. Personally,
he should be in the MCU. I think he would make a great addition to Black Panther. And even not, he probably would make an okay Mr. Fantastic. Put him in the Fantastic Four.
Could.
The only thing I have is if you
Could he
do
be the Flame guy, Torch,
the Human Torch. If you do that, then the sister should be black too. I didn't like how in the Fox let's make this movie before the rights.
But yeah.
But before the rights rolled over to Marvel.
I think he could do a good Torch.
I think he would too.
Yeah.
I think he'd make a good Mr. Fantastic. He speaks very eloquently. He has the ability to talk at a higher level. And Reed Richards is an equivalent to Tony Stark, but without the swag.
I could see that.
But if he falls into Fantastic Four, that'd be great. Don't make him the Thing. I feel like that would just add to his argument. That if he had to play a rock monster the whole fucking time. But at the same time, I would like to see him in Black Panther. I feel like there's probably a character that he could be, or he could be Black Panther.
Be the Black Panther though, or
maybe take up the mantle. Take some liberties, and maybe he has a brother that was away on a mission.
I don't think. My only problem is I don't think they're going to recast that role anytime soon.
That's a good one right there. John Krasinski, he plays Jim in The Office as Mr. Fantastic. Who, for your fun fact, because I know you don't know this, he auditioned for Captain America. Didn't get it. But there's also been rumors
on
the
main guy in
Jim,
Office.
Jim and Pam. The not Steve Carell, not the 40-year-old version.
The 40-year-old version.
You seen that movie, right?
Yes.
Not him.
Not him. So not the guy I was thinking. So okay.
So yeah, the youngest one of probably the people in that office.
Okay.
He would make a great Mr. Fantastic. I didn't hate the guy they had for the original Fox ones. I thought the casting there wasn't that bad. Obviously, you're not going to get Chris Evans to do Johnny Storm again.
Yeah, the original wasn't bad. It just kind of, once they got out of the first movie, it went downhill.
They fought a cloud, and that's what that's what did Green Lantern into. You think that Green Lantern would have learned the lesson, you can't fight a cloud. Fans will just shit all over it.
Nope.
The other issue, so for the Star Wars thing, was the John Boyega your story as well?
No.
Okay, what was your Star Wars thing? Before we get off on a Marvel tangent.
The character that did Miss Marvel,
Brie Larson.
Well, they already kicked her out of Star Wars.
She was in Star Wars?
She was supposed to be in the only thing that, what's her name? My God, I'm so fucking horrible right now.
Kathleen Kennedy?
Only that Kathleen Kennedy had powers over. She got kicked out of it.
I didn't even know she was attached to that.
I thought it was pretty funny myself. It was just rumored or whatever at the time, so I don't know. Maybe they just decided not to do it, but I guess Disney's having issues with her, from what it sounds like, because I think she's also having issues with even the Marvel roles. So
Captain Marvel.
We'll see where that goes. And then the other thing is somebody leaked basically a lot of the Lucas cut for Episode 9. And a lot more information came out on that. So I guess apparently
has Doomcock been active and I just didn't know?
It's been other people. I have like 6 or 7 different sources here. Don't worry, guys. So apparently what happened is who the hell was the director?
For 3? Or 9? J.J. Abrams.
So J.J., I guess, realized he was in over his head pretty much immediately on this.
Well, yeah, you were given a movie, you were given a bookend, and you didn't get to do the middle.
Well, the problem was, and I didn't realize this, and I don't think a lot of people realize this, but he knew he was fucked, basically, and I guess he pretty much immediately reached out to Lucas. Pretty much immediately. And he apparently had way more thought and stuff into, like...
So Lucas got more say into the end product than...
I would almost say Lucas was the one directing it at that point. And he was just being the assistant.
Which is possible.
Because apparently, from what it sounded like, he didn't know what to do, because, Rian Johnson just completely did a colossal fuck up. So apparently, I mean, the only thing they really talked about, there's a lot of stuff that apparently got cut. He said they basically they were arguing to have it as a two-parter, which is what I originally said way back when. I was like, I don't know how you can tie all this up.
Which is bullshit, because it should have been episode 8, episode 9. Clearly Disney fucked up and went through 3 different mindsets.
Yeah. So they were fighting for it. Apparently there was fucking... They said it's almost 5 hours worth of fucking content they shot. That's how much shit did they start stripping out, and then they kept rewriting everything.
I don't see why there wouldn't have been a problem to do an episode 10. If you would have done an episode 9 I would have waited for that episode 10. It's a saga at that point. It's not a trilogy.
I was going to say, the whole 3 trilogy thing is, I think,
it's out the window.
A little bit. Yeah, I was going to say, sort of like everything's going into...
Because originally it was Star Wars trilogy, Godfather trilogy. Yeah. Now you're 9 deep. Fuck it. Go for the 10th.
Just keep going.
Get that money grab. Because I would have if you left me on a cliffhanger for 9, I would have been back for 10 no matter what.
Well, and if they would have done what he was doing. So apparently the whole beginning scene, the whole montage, was apparently way more in depth. It would have probably been its own movie by itself.
Actually training Rey, actually showing why Poe and Finn are doing things. It was
almost 100%. No,
Kylo,
they wouldn't even. It's just basically Kylo would start the whole fucking thing.
Kylo actually looking for the holocrons and people knowing what the fuck a holocron is if they didn't watch the cartoon.
So basically, it's on Mustafa or
Mustafar.
Jesus Christ, I'm really getting fucked up right now. All right. So apparently, so that's the one where he got burnt.
Yes, right. That's Darth Vader's home planet.
So apparently,
I used air quotes.
Yeah, Darth Vader built a temple.
Yeah.
On that
which you see in Rogue One.
Right. So apparently that's where he had the holocron,
which makes sense,
right?
In his base.
So now all those people that you see that he's fighting were basically almost like religious zealots for Darth Vader. And when Darth Vader died, they basically went in and raided all the shit, and then they became the protectors of the holocron. Which
makes sense because again, these zealots, these Sith zealots, when you're used to the rule of 2, and all of a sudden there's a cult that follows them. There's no explanation to that, which would have been nice, and I'm sure we'll get a book.
But that's basically what this was supposed to be trying to do, is basically show it, right? And they were actually going to show you basically them going into the temple, blah, 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 and sort of setting up the order, religion, or whatever. And then basically Kylo goes there, he sees the shattered Darth Vader saber. He actually sees Darth Vader. Yeah, his saber and stuff.
Which was probably why there was a rumor Hayden Christensen was going to be involved.
So he was supposed to be basically wandering around the planet talking in the Sith language, and then Kylo's trying to understand it because it's an ancient Sith, so he has some training but doesn't have a ton of training in it. And it's basically sort of like...
The only issue I would have with that is Lucas had Anakin's Force Ghost return.
Well, again, so this isn't really necessarily... I don't know if this is necessarily a Force Ghost is the problem, because it's almost like a... Because you couldn't interact with him. It wasn't necessarily like a Force Ghost per se. It was more of like a... I don't even know what the hell you want to call him, but more like a hologram, but it's just it's basically his essence, like Darth Vader's essence, but not actually...
Vader.
It's...
So it's not a Force Ghost. It's just
it's basic.
His hatred created a different person.
Correct, sort of like his hatred thing, but it doesn't have any ability to do anything. So he's just basically wandering around saying this. I don't know what he was saying, and they didn't really go into it. Probably because I guess it's in Darth their language and not, and I doubt anyone actually knows what they were actually saying because it didn't obviously didn't come out. But and then Kylo starts studying that, so he's starting to this whole thing starts kind of him down a path basically
of getting darker.
No, of actually starting to turn
good
to the good side.
Yeah, you do have an immediate switch on the other moon of Endor or whatever.
Yeah, so then he starts to kind of start to question things, blah blah blah, and then he gets the Wayfinder, and then he goes to
Hexagal.
Is that Hexagal?
Hexagal.
Where the hell it is,
yeah.
And then basically once he's there, and then that really starts to hammer home basically him kind of going into the good side basically because of. Well, first of all, it's not supposed to be Sidious, so there's a whole problem here. There's they really rewrote the fucking thing.
So if it wasn't going to be,
that's basically when that one should have almost basically ended.
So if it wasn't going to be Sidious, who was going to be the Dark Presence? Because obviously something has to. What is he searching for? Why is he going to Exegol?
Well, exactly. It's the Dark Presence, so it's supposed to be.
Badass. It was like Darth Bane or one of those older ones from the Old Republic.
I forget. I forget who it was, but he was casted in everything. Because the original ending was supposed to be they were supposed to be force jumping in between all of the planets. Was literally how it's supposed to be. And it's supposed to be Kylo, Rey fighting. It's still supposed to be Palpatine, but he's transferred his body into some weird puppet thing.
Which was Snoke, which was the idea.
Which was the
idea behind
Snoke, exactly. But it was a legit, normal-looking person, not a fucking.
So it would have been a different, younger actor, per se?
Correct, and he would have still been basically the leader, or whatever. Not this whole fucking Rey is whatever. But then they basically start force jumping between all of the different planets we've ever been to in the entire saga as a big entourage, basically for the fans. It's pure fan bait, is what it was. But
you're jerking them, especially if you go into the Clone Wars planets.
Exactly, and it was. I mean, who the hell knows if they would even jump times or whatever? Because at that point, it would just been fucking balls to the wall. I assume.
Yeah.
It's sort of like they did in fucking 9, where they were fucking light skip jumping or whatever the fuck they were doing.
Which is weird because literally the movie before they used the light speed to blow up a ship. So I don't know how you can target. I'm gonna blow up a ship in this instance. But skip through fucking planets on this instance.
Don't worry. According into the very first one, Han goes, well, you can't just jump. You got to have all the calculations right. You'll get torn apart. And all of a sudden, don't forget about it.
Which is solidified in Episode 8 when Hodo turns the fucking ship and goes through Snoke's ship.
Fucking Christ.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, we're going to start Episode 9 off just abandoning everything we've established about light
Screw it.
light
Doesn't
travel
matter.
and fucking Star Wars.
So that was supposed to be that, and then they were supposed to have another entourage. They're supposed to be way more into Dark Rey as well, and then she was supposed to basically be seen going the other way.
Her story between the two movies would be teetering to the dark side, as Ben's would be teetering back to the light.
Correct.
And then ultimately they both end up at the light.
Correct. And they basically save each other. Is basically what it was supposed to come down to.
And this was George's idea?
This is all George.
The fuck didn't he get the trilogy out the gate?
Yeah. So basically,
did they ever have a saying if George liked The Force Awakens? Because there's a lot of notes in that book that came out that kind of reveal that he had similar ideas.
From my understanding on The Force Awakens, he was upset, but that was more the fact that
Han died?
No, he's more on the fact that when they were doing negotiations for him selling the company, he gave them basically
here's my next
here's the next 3 stories. Yeah. This is what I want to happen. And they basically said,
okay.
Yeah, we'll do it, blah, blah, blah.
Just sign the goddamn paper, George.
And then they also then allowed George to pick his successor, which is Kennedy.
Bad choice, George.
To bring in and finish his whatever. And he was also supposed to be basically a consultant and things like that.
Which makes sense.
It wasn't like he was giving away his baby.
He created the universe. He should still have a say.
And his big issue with that was the fact that he was just thrown aside. And then they took some of his stuff, but threw a majority of it away. It's basically what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then, then he lost his shit on Episode 8. So that was fun.
As he should, because Episode 8, every time I look back at this trilogy, Episode 8 is just 7.1. It's literally an hour after blowing up Starkiller Base, and you only follow 2 fucking hours.
there's so much in it that just doesn't make sense.
Episode of a goddamn cartoon show that you could have did. You didn't have to have like this entire fucking elaborate thing.
Like it's just so much of it just didn't make sense. That's the whole problem.
The only thing I liked about it was the training. You saw Rey actually get training from Luke, and the Luke story. I don't mind the Luke storyline. I know people get pissed off that he died, but I feel like it was a necessity.
I agree, it was a necessity.
It's a necessity, but it didn't actually serve its fucking purpose. The necessity should have been to push Rey back to the light or Ben back to the light.
That's right. There's something else in this. So apparently, he basically fixed the problem of Luke as well in it. So basically, Rey starts going down the dark side, and then basically what flips her back from the dark side is somehow Luke, I don't know how the hell he does it, but he basically shows her what happened the day of basically battle? Kylo and him.
Oh, okay. So what happened at the burning of the second Jedi Temple?
Well, no, because what happened is according to the fucking craziness is he sensed the dark side growing and what's in Kylo, so he went to go kill him.
Yeah.
Right, and then Kylo then just burns down everything.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, what happened here is Snoke uses that Force thing that Rey and what's her name have.
That bond?
Yeah, that bond thing. And he uses it to get inside Luke's head. And Luke doesn't realize what's going on because I guess it's like first time it's ever happened. Because, I mean, there's no Jedi around. So he thinks he's actually fighting Snoke.
Well, he had so when he confronts Kylo?
So Snoke's here and Kylo's right behind him and then Luke's going to strike Snoke.
Mm-hmm. But I would argue Luke had that bond with Leia. Cloud City.
I do. I mean, it's not to a certain extent. Yes, I agree. But I'm just saying that's basically how he's retconning it to make it seem. So it basically didn't make it seem like fucking Luke
didn't
just
realize
threw away
Snoke was taking over his mind.
Yeah, and then the reason why Luke then goes to the planet and separates himself from the Force is because he's scared of what happened and he's trying to figure out. He goes to where the Jedi started to read the text and figure out what's going on and how to protect himself and other people from himself.
That would actually make sense, only for the fact, and I'm going to retcon my answer if it doesn't make sense, because he didn't know there was Sith out there.
Correct.
To him, when the Empire fell, that religion
It was
fell.
done.
Yeah.
It was done.
So it makes sense. So you wouldn't be aware of something attacking you if you didn't know it existed.
Correct.
All right, I'll give it to him.
So that's basically how, like, sort of retcon that, and then... Again, there was a lot of really good fucking ideas on how to fix the shit show that was given to him. He wouldn't have had... I think everybody basically wouldn't have killed...
Killed Han? Or killed Leia?
Killed Luke in 8. They would have actually said you should have killed... Leia, and then Luke should have died in 9. As the basic final passing, which makes sense.
But I pointed out a couple weeks ago that Lucas's original script, unless he's basing everything off of 7, and that's what he's fixing now, but his 7, 8, 9 had Luke dying in 8. Mm-hmm. His original idea. If you're saying he's start pointing from 7, I could see how 8 and 9 changed.
Well, I think the problem is I think they're all basing it off because of what's her name died during what's called, so they would have retconned or did something last minute in order to
had Leia be the one that passed just to keep Luke.
And then just because obviously real shit happened in the real world.
Yeah, which I mean, I don't think it was too bad what they did with her.
Honestly,
you could tell it was extra footage.
It was 9. It worked.
It got the point across. But again, a lot of people still think it was a shit show because it was so much shoved into 2 hours or 3 hours, I think it was.
Well, yeah, it was I think just under 3. But yeah, it was just a fucking colossal fuck up. And it sucks, and like Daisy apparently just keeps losing her shit because apparently she was going like she was having mental breakdowns on set and shit.
Because of how much they kept fucking changing it?
Well, because of all the training. Like, she apparently had to do so much training. It was apparently crazy.
Was acting not one of them?
Well, yeah. Well, no. But the problem is what she's saying is that everything that she did all this work and time in for, they literally cut out. Like, there are going to be whole fight scenes with her and Dark Ray.
Which makes sense.
There's like, so much shit that they just literally just cut out the movie because Kathleen Kennedy didn't like it.
I want the JJ cut of episode 9. I'm just saying, if we're gonna get a stupid Snyder cut of Justice League, why can't I get a JJ cut?
They already said
they're gonna do a JJ cut.
You mean the Lucas cut?
Whatever.
They're calling it the Lucas cut. Yes, 2021. It's gonna be a Disney Plus only thing.
Which makes sense because that's what HBO Max is doing with the Justice League.
So so they're gonna be doing that.
Hashtag Lucas cut.
We'll see. Apparently, almost all of it was shot already. It was just all cut and it's just fucking mind blowing.
Just needs to be edited.
Yeah, it just needs to be edited and put the visual effects and stuff on it, and it's
Is it going to be a full?
A lot of sound stuff from the original guy,
John Williams.
Yeah, John Williams did like a whole fucking
score for shit, and then they didn't even bring it in.
They got rid of everything.
Like, at least he made the movie though. He's in the movie.
But I'm fucking blown away. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, he apparently made a whole score. It was insane.
But he's in the movie. He's a bartender on that fucking planet.
There you go.
I can't think of the planet, but wherever the fuck Babu Frick's from.
Babu Frick's?
Yeah. Wherever they do the thing to 3PO. He's the bartender when before they walk down to his area.
Okay. Yeah.
But he made it. He made it in.
There we go.
He's been in more Star Wars movies than us.
Yeah, that's right. He made it. But so there is a the more shit that comes out on what was actually in the original cut, the problem is and then this is sort of the whole thing with the Batman one or the Justice League one is if that one is way more successful than the original, it looks so bad. I mean, the only reason why the Justice League one I think is happening is because
there's two directors.
It was a Fox thing, and Disney,
Warner Brothers.
Well, yeah, but Disney has the rights to it now, and Disney's like, fuck it. Or no, HBO has the rights to it now, and they're like, fuck it, don't matter.
HBO is owned by Warner Brothers. Time Warner Brothers.
I thought it switched hands though.
No.
Oh.
It's a way to lure people into HBO Max. They realized that most of the fan base has been bitching that it's been awful, and released the Snyder Cut fucking hashtag's been around for years.
Yeah.
And this is a way to bring those people in.
I saw a video on it, and apparently it's like a completely different version. Like it's not even
the directors are close. Night and day.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon's light, and even like Joss Whedon shot on digital, Snyder shot on actual film. So there's an editing nightmare because you have to color things differently. And Joss believes in adding humor. Zack Snyder believes doom and gloom all the way. That's why I like. My personal problem with that whole universe is Superman is so... He's supposed to be the opposite of Batman.
Isn't he dead? I think he's dead in the Snyder Cut, though.
But Snyder also did Man of Steel and Batman v Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem I have with Snyder's Superman, he's so goddamn negative. There's always Batman is supposed to be the most negative thing out there. Always assume the worst in people.
That's right.
Superman usually assumes the best in people.
Best in people, yeah.
And Snyder went, nobody assumes good of anyone.
I like it.
And I hate that. I think they made Superman too dark. I think they made Wonder Woman too dark until they gave Wonder Woman her own thing.
Yeah.
It's just Snyder's cut has always been so dark that I want to watch it because everybody's fucking
that's right
all about it.
So I don't know if I have HBO Max or not. I pay for HBO Go or Now or whatever.
Well,
it is. I don't know if it's the same fucking thing or not.
You can translate over, but the problem that you run into is Fire Stick, Roku. It doesn't bring the app over.
Well, that's
HBO
my problem.
Max
hasn't all through the Roku.
Yeah, HBO Max hasn't done a fucking deal with these two.
Hey-ho.
Same with Peacock. Peacock has not done a deal with us too.
So now I'm confused. So Peacock's now free?
If you have Xfinity. We threw out our cable boxes. We can't stream it because you can't put it on Amazon.
I think it's free. I don't know if it's a limited time thing or...
I thought it was free with Xfinity.
I don't know. Again,
we get it free.
If it's a limited time thing or not, but from what I was looking when I was watching football last night, they were basically saying it's free.
Well, from what I saw on my bill...
I thought it was basically
we had it.
Saying it. Yeah,
but we can't access it because we threw all the goddamn cable boxes out there. Suck a dick, Comcast.
I like it
because I actually want to watch AP Bio. There's a couple other things I like the Peacock's collection of old classic movies. We watched the original Dracula from 1920 something, which was pretty cool. And then Comcast pissed me off, and I threw all their goddamn boxes out, and I haven't been able to watch Peacock since. I think I could pull it up on an internet browser.
Maybe.
And then I guess maybe Chromecast it. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But HBO Max is the same
Bastards.
way. They're not making deals with Amazon. And I don't blame them. Why would you give more money to evil Bezos?
Yeah, that's I don't know.
But it sucks for me as a consumer of Bezos products. I can't fucking watch it.
Woohoo!
And same, like, at least for you with the Roku. I don't know if
Yeah.
that has Peacock, but I know HBO Max has
I
not
don't
scored a deal with either
think
of them.
it's on there. I don't know if it is or not, to be honest.
Because I'm not going to get HBO Max until it's available on Amazon.
I mean, unless you can get it through Prime.
No, you get the HBO Go thing, which is like
Yeah.
a
Well, no, you
HBO
can,
Max
you can
Lite.
get Go on. Well, I have it as an app on the what's it called, but yeah.
Roku.
Yeah.
But it's like an HBO Max Lite. So, like, you don't get the Big Bang Theory, you don't get South Park, you don't get all that shit they're loading their libraries.
Yeah, but is it? I don't know. Like I said, I
You
have
get
the
access to
Go
their
version
shows.
just because there's a bunch of shows and stuff I watch
Yeah,
on there.
you get access to, like, Game of Thrones, Last Week Tonight.
Last Week
those.
Tonight's mostly what I've been watching. I can't wait for fucking House to come back on. The fuck's the name of that? Babylon 7? 8?
Oh, Avenue 5.
Avenue 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
can't wait for
forgot
that to
about
come
that.
back. There's a lot of good shit on there. Ballers is in there. Like
that ended, but I mean that was a good show. Silicon Valley was a good show.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'm starting to try and get caught up on a lot of these things, but it's not easy for me because I don't watch a lot of TV.
yeah.
It
Well, like,
takes me a while to get to. I can't sit there and binge something in a day. Like it takes me months to binge.
so
something.
I got a question for you. You're not a big TV person as it is.
No,
I have found myself falling out of love with TV.
I've never liked TV.
But like, we were sitting here trying to find something to watch, and I'm like, there's nothing on. We've been without content for so long. There's nothing I really want to watch. Like, there are shows that have returned. I watched the Goldbergs. I watched the Connors.
My whole problem is with the new world order or whatever for the past, I don't know.
You said the key word.
Damn it. But like the past couple, I don't know, 10 years or something. It's like every fucking season's only 10 episodes, and then you have to wait an entire fucking year, and then by the time the next year comes around, like Avenue 5 and stuff, you've already forgotten about it.
Yep.
Which is like, and then you're trying to bring people back in, and like none of them can survive because you're a fucking afterthought at that point. Like straight out a fucking afterthought.
You're watching whatever new flavor of the week is.
Yeah, you can't keep up, and almost everything. Like what drove me away from TV was when fucking reality TV just started going
Dominating everything?
fucking bonkers. Like you had like 40 different fucking housewives shows, and I'm like, how?
Yeah,
How?
I personally find myself only following superhero and Star Wars stuff now.
I mean, it's pretty much for
And
me.
Star Trek. I'm trying to catch up on
I'm
Star
trying
Trek.
to finish The Boys. Like shit like that, I actually like. It's just my problem is with The Boys. I'll finish season 2, and I will not remember to come back for season 3
That's true.
because
well,
it's so short. Unless you guys remind me, I will completely forget.
which
about
I
it.
will because Amazon will not let me forget.
But you understand what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say? Because it takes so long. Like I want to watch fucking Orville. I have
Ooh, what is that on? Is that Peacock?
Hulu.
It's on Hulu? Mm-hmm. When did that debut?
It hasn't. That's the problem. It's in like fucking perpetuity of never coming back. It's like, and there's another one that pissed me off. Like I like the show, and it's the only reason that I really because to me I think it's pretty fucking funny and stuff. But it's like you have fucking like 9-10 episodes, and then you go on hiatus. It's been almost 2 years.
That's because Fox. That was. I think part of that is the reason the Fox Disney buyout because they didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, well, no, and then they pushed it on the Hulu because they wanted to have it more.
It's adult oriented.
Well,
adult oriented.
it's
on Hulu.
adult oriented, but they also wanted it to go darker, I guess, or more
Because also the Fox Broadcasting channel.
comedian or whatever. Like they were gonna get more darker in their jokes, basically.
Okay.
Which I mean makes
More
sense
adult
to me.
humor too.
Yeah, basically, yeah, more adult humor, and apparently
Hulu does open it up for it.
Yeah, and then the other thing is he wanted to have the episodes actually be longer than, like he wanted to have. He didn't like the fact.
Uninterrupted.
Well, he didn't like the fact that he had it had to be
A lot of for commercials.
44 minutes or whatever. Like he wanted, if one episode's
Hi, Snowflake.
if one episode's an hour and a half and the next episode's only 45 minutes, it doesn't
happens.
matter. It happened.
The Mandalorian situation.
Exactly. Like you basically you write this is the story you want to tell. If it takes 6 hours or it takes 30 minutes, it is what it is. It's not like you want. So I get it, but I'm just like this.
It makes sense. It's killing TV, but it totally makes sense because all the better, like all the ones that win awards and shit, move to streaming services.
Yeah, because
they tell a better story.
Not, yeah, because you don't have to put all the fucking filler shit in
or cut things that you didn't want to cut.
Correct.
Like, oh, I got to get within that 45-minute window for the fucking broadcast thing. I got to cut off 6 minutes of this important storyline. That storyline either falls to the next week or falls to the wayside. Never do it.
Yep. And then it allows you to develop more into characters, blah, blah, blah. It just... But my whole thing with it is it just... Why is it 10? What is it with in 10 episodes?
That's a good question.
I don't get it. Like, it's not even half a fucking season. Like...
Well, in theory, it's 10 weeks, right?
Yeah, and then old shows used to be 26, and they would break it 13 and 13. So you have the beginning, you'd have a winter break, and then you'd have the end.
Which, yeah, you're right.
You can't even get to 13, which is fucking half of a season prior.
Even Walking Dead is just kind of like... Oh, apparently Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender, the original creators bailed... that's a live action one they were trying to do to get rid of that M. Night Shyamalan bullshit, right? To be honest, I'm not even on Netflix that much. Which...
Yeah.
Don't tell Comcast, but I'm getting it for free.
Nice!
Because they haven't removed themselves from the billing. You're not Frank Ward either. When the fuck did I last update this?
Long time ago. But yeah. To me, the whole thing's a fucking disaster, so I'm just it is what it is.
You never want to hear original creators leaving a product because of creative differences.
Yep.
That is like a death sentence for a show, because that means the original people didn't get to say on what they were originally saying.
I like it.
Other news that we have, because we definitely went on a Star Wars kick, which I assumed was going to happen because of the Mando, but we went down a different fucking hole.
Yeah, I know. We're in holes all the time. Oh my god. We're
Friday
40 minutes in.
Yeah, I know, right? Friday the 13th, the game, it will be shutting. The last patch is coming out soon, and after that, there'll be no more patches, and they're disbanding the certain server.
I was shocked on that, because I was shocked that... Because you're going to push something out, you only have it out for what's called, and then they kill the server, so...
Well, they're keeping the servers up for peer-to-peer play. So you'll still be able to play the game, but they're not going to be doing any more updates to it. And the one thing I didn't notice about it, too, is they went through so many fucking lawsuits, apparently, with this game.
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know if it was the gameplay or whatever, but they always wanted to change the mechanics, that it wasn't... Like, the problem with the game is, and when I was reading, I was like, yes, that's why I don't really play it that much.
That's right.
It's boring as shit if you're the campers. It's fun as hell if you're fucking Jason and you're slaughtering people.
Slaughter.
But as a camper, it's kind of rigged to Jason, and you have to sort through a bunch of shit to solve puzzles. It's Among Us, but on crack.
On crack.
And the other thing I never understood, too, is they put that out, and Dead by Daylight came out around the same time, which does season passes of, like, this is this killer, this is this killer. So, like, Mike Myers has been in it, Freddy Krueger's been in it. Yeah. The only one they haven't had, Jason. So to me, Jason would have been a great DLC pack for that.
Could have been.
Shut down the goddamn Jason game, because it's the same gameplay, too.
I was going to say, it's the same,
One killer, and you're going through and you're trying to solve puzzles and trying to escape.
One's a camp. The other one, they're in a building, right? Or
it varies based on the killer you're facing.
Oh, okay.
Because like the Jigsaw's in it, not Jigsaw, but the pig mask, that he's in it.
The pig guy.
The killer from Silent Hill, I think, is in one of them. They bring in Leatherface.
Freddy Krueger one.
They have all of them, and we have actually most of the DLCs for the Game-a-thon if we ever decide to play it.
Yay!
But they even put in like Stranger Things was a season.
Really?
Yeah, the Demogorgon was the killer.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that game to me was phenomenal. And then Friday the 13th felt like the first stone, and then Dead by Daylight made it perfect.
Okay.
And then released Packet, like that's a money machine, because it's like, $8 and you get Jigsaw.
Yeah.
I'll give you $8.
Exactly.
And next thing you know, you spent $100 on a game because you bought all the fucking expansion packs.
Yep.
But just kind of giving you out there, it's going to be calling the...
According to them, Texas
servers.
is too close to call. Apparently, Texas became a battleground state. What the fuck?
Because of Beto!
Beto!
And creepy Ted Cruz. Everyone's like, I'm tired of that weird Canadian representing my state.
That's right.
I saw Florida was still red. I'm assuming he won that.
It's no. Right there's the actual map. It's still undecided.
Well, yep. All the states that should be blue and ones that should be red are red.
I think in 15, I think the rest of the Panhandle closes their
polls.
So that will probably.
You have a better angle at the projector than I do. I assume Jersey's one of the ones in blue.
No, our polls aren't closed yet.
I thought it closed at 8.
9, I believe.
No.
So 15 minutes.
I still don't put it past them just to put Jersey up there as blue.
I would. Fucking, let's be freaking realistic.
Again, it hasn't been red since Reagan.
If this state goes red, I mean, somebody fucked up.
Big time.
Somebody fucked up.
People are just like, hey, you're not listening to me. Watch what I can do.
Yeah, because, I mean, you have what? Black City, Newark, Trenton,
He did
Camden.
a couple fucking rallies here, man.
He did. He constantly does rallies here.
Biden.
Why does that show it red?
Biden just kind of ran around.
There's
See,
no
early
way.
results are in.
No fucking way. They really think Jersey's going red?
Early results. I'm telling you, CNN's working it the way is whatever I get is whatever color it'll be.
I need multiple beers for this one, man. If fucking Jersey goes red,
I'm telling you, they're going to be that little asshole that goes, you know what, I'm tired of not being fucking listened to.
I can't do this.
And the one year I vote for Rocky, not going to happen.
No fucking, yeah. They lost by 1 vote.
Because Dace voted for Rocky and not Biden.
I will. I don't even know. I don't even know what I would do with that.
I would be like, yeah, it was me again. I did it again.
I'll be like, I don't know, man. What happened to this world?
I didn't take your election process serious, and you proved to me again
that I fucked up.
That it works. 2016 is like, he'll never win. Fuck it, Trump.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, Rocky. All of a sudden, Jersey's red. I'm like, shit, that's my bad, guys.
It is interesting, though. I know Texas, just on the early voting, they had more people vote in the early voting than they had in the 2016 election.
It was so much easier. Like, to just check off a ballot and send it. I mean, granted, my check still hasn't gotten to my bank for the car payment I got to make, so I don't know how quickly it got back. If it got back.
I kept checking mine just to make sure it got in and was submitted.
See, you were smarter than me. I didn't take my barcode.
It took fucking forever. No, you don't need a barcode. You just need to log into the New Jersey thing and create an account. Like, it literally showed every single election I voted.
Oh, my bad. Maybe I should check that out.
Crazy. I was like, they have all these fucking.
But the bank keeps calling me. And they're like, hey, we don't have your car payment. I was like, motherfucker, I sent that check at the beginning of October, and you ain't getting any more money out of me.
Sorry, bitches.
Because if I give you money and that check shows up, you'll double dip, you bitches. I know you'll double dip.
That's right.
But
technically, 5% of all mail gets lost.
Yeah, apparently my car payment for October.
That's right. I didn't realize it was that high.
I'm not shocked.
I'm not shocked either, but I was.
I can tell you right now, I run numbers of how much shit our company loses. So, I get it.
1.5, but all right.
Yeah, and there's a factor, I think every company has a factor, and yeah, that's okay. Like, if you hit that, you're below that percentage, I'm happy.
Yeah, most of the packages got there, so we're good. But
I thought it was funny because I walked out. Randy had off today. She works with a motor vehicle, and I went. The entire election was mail-in. Why the fuck are you off?
That's exactly what they my company gave me a half day, and I'm like, we're in Jersey. I even told it to my boss. I'm like, why?
It's the entire thing's mail-in. Yeah. It's like, if anything, you guys...
I didn't mail mine in. I filled it out, and I just went right to the post station and put it in the ballot in the...
Well, it was just like, it was a drop-off
thing. It made no fucking sense, yeah.
And I'm like...
It's just basically a big mailbox.
The motor vehicle services in Jersey, because of the shutdown, are so far behind. It's like, why wouldn't you get this day back?
Yeah, my fucking...
Double time it, but let's go.
I'm trying to do my registration. I had to just do it online and get it sent to my dad's house.
I know. I just thought it was weird, because I walked by and I was like...
fucking nuts.
The fuck? And she's like, election day. I was like... But we already voted.
Yeah,
Why did you get off?
Sense. Did she actually vote?
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
Woo!
You want to talk about people I pissed off in 2016?
There you go.
Although I did the right thing and didn't vote him this time.
That's right.
Not saying I did the fully right thing that she would approve of, but hey, I exercised my vote.
We got there.
Apparently, I'm also going to be a mayor of some city that Frank wrote me in for.
I like it.
Anyway, the other topic I have for tonight, and I'm surprised we didn't start with this, but actor, legend, Indiana Jones's father,
I
007.
forgot he was the father.
Sean Connery passed away this past weekend
One of the best.
at age 90, which is,
One of
to
the
me, is
best.
weird. I was, like, Googling him a couple weeks ago. I'm like, oh, shit, he's still alive.
That's
I
right.
feel like I jinxed him.
You did. You did.
But I think it went down an interesting road for you. I don't watch the movies. I told you, I only watch Spectre.
James Bond.
Um,
That's the last one, right?
yeah, that's the one where everybody's like, are you going to come to movie night? Sure, I don't give a fuck. I like popcorn. So I went.
I don't like. I really don't like the new Bond.
Well, I was going to say, who's your favorite Bond? You actually watch all the Bonds,
Sean
right?
Connery is my favorite Bond by
So-
far.
and you made a point, too. You said that most people, that's their Bond.
That most people, who've actually watched them all.
My Bond's Daniel Craig, because I've watched one.
Yeah.
Actually, I've watched two.
It's between him. It's usually between Sean and the guy that did
Goldeneye?
Goldeneye.
Pierce Bronson?
Yeah, but
See, that would be the only one I know because I started watching Goldeneye and then they killed Sean Bean.
Those are the ones that I think most people refer to because they're both they started the most, basically.
Well, yeah.
So-
Well, I think Daniel Craig's up there now, isn't he?
Craig's only done 3, and he doesn't want to do any more.
He's the 5th one's coming out this year.
4, 5, whatever.
That's more than 3.
I don't like
I don't know
him.
how many Connery did. I don't know how many Bronson did either.
Connery, I think, did the most.
I
I watched them all. They're all good. Let's be realistic. I mean, they're all. I mean, honestly, if you think like a lot of people bitch that Marvel is like a cookie cutter, and everything is a cookie cutter.
James Bond's a cookie cutter until Me Too happened.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. But that basically, Bond is literally a cookie cutter. I mean, it's unbelievable.
So according to this list,
The list.
portrayal of which actor had the most? Sean Connery with 6.
But boom!
7 counting one non-Eon production. Hold on. Nope. Roger Moore had the most.
Roger. Oh wait, that's the
He had
guy.
7.
That's the other one that people fight. It's between Sean Connery and him. I think are the two that always. But again, they shot the most, so it makes the most sense because if you star in the most movies, you're gonna have the most reach out to most people.
Yeah. So apparently Sean Connery portrayed him from 62 to 67, 71, and 83.
Yeah.
But also David Naveen portrayed 007 and 67.
That was the first one, I'm pretty sure.
Well, how did Sean Connery do in
it?
62 then?
I'm almost positive Sean was not the very first Bond. I'm pretty sure the first Bond was somebody. Maybe he was a stepping stone in between the next two. Who starred?
Barry Nelson was the first to portray Bond on
Yeah.
screen in a 1954 television adaptation of Casino Royale.
And it was just he did one and done basically, and then it went into Sean.
Yep.
And then he did it for a long time. I guess then they had a filler person, is what you're saying?
They apparently had 2 filler people.
Oh, 2 filler people, and then it went into
David Naveen and George Lansby.
Yeah, I don't know either of them.
Both of them did a thing in 67 and 69, and then Connery came back in 71, 83. Roger Moore did some from 73 to 85. Timothy Dalton did 87 to 89. Pierce Bronson was 95 to 2002, and Daniel Craig has been 2006 to the one that hasn't come out yet.
Woo-hoo!
It was supposed to come out in March, and that was going to be his last one.
Yeah,
which
he's supposed to die in this one. Something to die. I don't know. Everything's death and dying in all their titles now.
yeah,
And then,
No Time to Die.
No Time to Die. And then they're supposedly rebooting it as Bond's going to be a girl now.
Yeah, it is the rumor.
So I'm not
I'm
not against
I think
it.
it's funny.
I'm not against it,
But
but
why
I don't
would you?
know.
Why would you do that when the fans lost their shit when he went from martinis to fucking Heineken for a product placement deal? You don't think they're gonna lose their shit when it's not a white British male anymore?
I don't think it really comes down.
It's
to
an agent number.
It depends on how they portray it and how they do it. As
I
long
got
as it's
it.
still in Britain, I don't think it's going to be an issue. See, the problem is this is the problem here is normally you're supposed to be like a womanizer or whatever. Like everyone
Well-
he's having sex with somebody, right?
Not as intense in the last couple ones, but yes.
But I mean that's literally in a
He's a lady killer.
yeah. So now so I don't understand how you're.
She's
gonna,
a slut.
Well, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. So it's like
You can't have a fucking man eater. She's a slut.
So there's certain aspects of it that I just don't see how they can It's going to be a lot harder to portray.
I'm just saying, if you had the fucking Star Wars fan base lose their shit over a black stormtrooper, you think it's going to go well for the Bond people? A lot of people, I feel like, are holding out hope right now that it's not the case at the end of this movie.
I don't think it's going to be that bad. Well, I mean,
you're not as invested in 007.
The problem is, it can be bad.
But you're not as invested. So, is it fair to say you're not as invested in 007?
I am nowhere near as invested in 007.
So, do you think the diehard 007 fan base might lose their shit? Just like the toxic Star Wars fan base loses their shit?
My problem with that is I don't know if there is necessarily a diehard because they're going to be probably in like their 70s, 80s at that point. Like they're really going to be really old.
I was going to say Tony, but Tony's mentally there. He's an older gentleman.
But you understand what I'm trying to say? So I don't know, at least with Star Wars, the people that are there are in their 50s.
Yes, you're right. My uncle and stuff like that, yeah.
But the problem is the people who originally like would have been diehards.
When the first movie came out in 62 or the first portrayal came out in 62.
Yeah, like you're
They've read the books and
so pretty much most people nowadays are going to be the only adaptation that they really know about are the movies.
Yeah, which is Daniel Craig, and
they've
already taken liberties
and
with.
Probably some of more, probably
no,
Bronson, whatever, maybe in like the 90s, but that's about it.
He will always be the guy from Mrs. Doubtfire to me.
But you know what I mean? Like that's pretty much basically it. I don't know. I don't know how hardcore it is.
Because Doctor Who fans, I feel like didn't lose their shit as much when they did a woman.
When they did a woman, but again, it works
if it's done right.
The whole problem, it works, and 007, again, it works. Because the reason you can keep changing actors is because it's a call sign.
Yeah.
So you're not expected to have the same person. You know what I mean? So it makes sense. So it can work.
If it's a chick, what's her name?
Oh, that is a fucking good question. James Bond.
Jenny Bond. Jamie Bond.
Yeah, guys, that's a good question. That's actually a great question. I don't know, but she'll have the same call sign of 007.
But she's not going to be James Bond anymore. You can't be James Bond if you're a woman. Okay, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, man, you're going to get fucking smacked down right
Genders, now. But I'm just saying, you probably would not be called James Bond if you were a female
I would agree.
007.
But we'll see. I don't know. I don't know how that would work.
Obviously, she'd probably be a Bond, but
maybe.
And
you don't have to be.
What if she's a Spanish James Bond? Or a
my only
African American.
My only problem here is it has to be a British.
Okay.
Because it's in Britain. It's a British agency.
Oh yeah,
so
MI6, right?
Yeah, it's MI6. So I can't see
an American taking the role.
If it's an American, if it's anything other than a British person, it's gonna be at least in my mind, and I'm not even that invested. It just kills it because it does it.
Giselle Bond.
You just threw it out. You know what I mean? You killed it. You're right. It's something so dumb. The
whole thing goes around MI6. Yeah. Which I thought the interesting aspect, if you look at the Kingsman, which is kind of like our James Bond of our generation.
Yeah.
They went and made the
More
Statesman.
Of a comedy thing.
Yeah.
The Statesman
was the American equivalent. So I don't know, that's interesting. But that kind of wraps up the show. We lost Sean Connery, but it gave us a good James Bond conversation there at the end, which is rare for us because that is not in our wheelhouse. Well, at least it's not mine.
Yeah, I like them. I watched almost all of them. They're all actually, I think almost all of them are on
Netflix right now?
No, Amazon Prime. I watched a lot of them all over again. Like, I have no issues watching them. But again, like I said, that literally is a fucking cookie cutter.
No, it makes sense.
Like everyone it almost all starts out the same. It's just a fucking.
It's why Austin Powers was able to be a thing. Because it took the formula and just put comedy in.
Exactly.
But let's go around the horn, even though it's just us two. What do you got going on?
Please email me at dacemanshow@gmail.com. If you have anything for the Game-a-thon, please feel free to email us as well.
Yep, we have another meeting next Monday with the internal group, so any feedback would be fantastic.
Any feedback, anything.
We actually have another charity on the hook, possibly.
Yeah, if it's the same one I'm thinking about, yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to start with my plugs. Suck it, nerd. This is coming home December 1st. Nerds. Because I will be the heavyweight champion of the world, which doesn't make sense to the fat bet. I think you pointed it out already.
That's right.
Follow us on Twitter at The Dace Man Show. Follow me on Twitter at The Dace Man. Is the only social media I use. Facebook.com/DaceMan Show. Instagram at The Dace Man. YouTube.com/The Dace Man Show, which is getting all of our archive footage now because we live stream on YouTube.com.
Right.
Go to twitch.tv/DaceMan and Friends and give us a little follow. Subscribe over there if you want to help support our fat bed efforts.
No, don't do it.
Or whatever other things, like our set where we now have the child and Boba's head.
We're getting there, man. We're getting fancy.
Yeah, we actually have posters, better quality. Who knows? Go to thedacemanshow.com. Still not updated. I'm going to yell that soon to do it.
That's right.
And he said he's only 35 points behind me. What the ass? I need to check that spreadsheet. Some formulas are wrong.
That's right.
Anyway,
Let me start tweaking these numbers a bit.
Yeah, so you guys are going to fucking kill me. I'm also down like 6 pounds already.
Woohoo!
Starvation for the win.
Starvation.
And last but not least, tpublic.com/user/The Dace Man Show. We got swag.
Swag.
I think that's it.
That sounds about right.
That does sound about right. I'm going to hit the little outro button. See how that works. Yeah, it is rocking and rolling. I think. I don't fucking know.
Says the mic's working.
Oh, there we go. Let's go. For the few.
For my chickens.
For the proud.
And that whale.
That is just too soon. And the Dace-tacular. Thank you for tuning in. And we will see you next time.